So he's going full blown for his good luck. And James Vowles has also acknowledged it. He's just like, good on you. Like, I'm glad you're doing this.
This is Paddock 43, the podcast, your weekly rundown giving you all things F1 from both on and off the track.
From races, trades, rumours, the lifestyle, and all the things that come with the F1 world.
We are Amy, Elle, and Pat. Let's get into it.
Should we click play?
Play.
Should we start the car? We are in. Ooh, can you hear that? Okay, guys, we are in an M3 G80.
Yeah.
And Pat is driving.
Because it's manual.
And
I was like,
I never learned how to drive manual. The purr on this car. All right. So a little bit about this car because
I'm happy.
Pat's just going to sit there smiling. Like, obviously, I can't drive manual, but I was like, I did the Porsche. It's only fair that Pat gets to drive her dream car and make Peter really jealous right now. And
I don't know if it's my dream car, but it's definitely a dream to drive.
It's a dream to drive something like this, and the noise, and also
I just wish there weren't so many round.
Yeah, we're in a very like suburban area right now, so. Ooh, that purr. As you can see, it is carbon bucket seats. Lovely. She has the most... We've also named this car Selena after Throne of Glass. If anyone is out there as a book nerd, Danny. I feel like you'd be listening.
Is this a street?
This is anticlimactic. I think that is a driveway, and you've hit a one-way street. As you can see, beautiful blue... Would you call it pearly matte blue?
Yeah, like she's a royal
pearly matte blue?
Yeah.
What would you say?
Pearly matte blue.
So the gear work, all the after work was done at Elite Euro Performance. They're just on the other side of the Westgate Bridge, so they do a lot of this sort of after work.
Shout out to you guys, you've done a phenomenal job.
Oh, actually, hang on. I've got a note here that the colour is frozen Portimano blue factory paint, if anyone's ever wanting to know what that colour is. I can also put up a little thing here, but you've also already seen it with the car there is. It's a manual gearbox, last of the manual M3s actually, which is a fun little fact.
I know, which I think is like such a shame that it's such a struggle to get I'm jumping with this.
It's a stiff manual gearbox as well.
Peter did say to me, it's going to be a hard manual gearbox.
And Dave, who owns this car, he was saying that he spent around $179 on the car and it's probably had about $40K worth of after work done on it. So it's quite an impressive beast. It's got obviously the Femto unlocked ECU, so we've got the M1 and M2 little engine button, just a little bit thin. So M2 is more of like your racy mode.
Yeah. And
then M1's more of your sports mode.
I think Dave's also set it up a certain way where, he's sort of got the M1 mode is more of his day-to-day.
It is a very beautiful car. It's got BC Forged 3-piece piece wheels, 20-inch front, 21 inch rear. I just said that, repeated it twice, but you know what I'm talking about. Like, you get it. You guys get it. And obviously has high flow downpipes, PTD, race clutch. We've got a mode carbon mid pipes. She's beautiful.
So I wanted to touch a little bit more on the ECU, because
the Femto unlocked.
Yes, it's
ECU.
Yeah, so an ECU is like a little chip almost that cars have, and
you ship it to Finland.
Well, yeah, so usually they lock it so you can't get modifications on it. Like, so I think what David was saying as well is that you can BMW lock it because they don't want people stuffing around with their cars and their chips. But there is a place in Finland which you can, so you get your mechanic to take it out, you ship it to Finland, and
it's a 10-day turnaround.
And they basically just jailbreak it. It's almost like, I think the best way to put it is like jailbreaking jailbreaking an iPhone. You know how people do that? They jailbreak the iPhones, like almost like.
Listen to that noise, everyone.
Speed bump.
Speed bump. All right.
The amount of speed bumps around here. But yeah, basically jailbreaking the phone, so you're kind of like taking away the original manufacturer settings.
This is just such a cool car to record the podcast in.
We're very...
But to make it clear, Pat, we should probably pull over in the shade somewhere up ahead.
Yes, I think we will.
Just to make sure everything
Is safe,
but also that you guys can hear it. And obviously, if you're listening to this, jump on YouTube or our socials. We're going to post the car that we're driving there, so you know exactly what we're sitting in.
I know you
this week.
I know you spoke about the seats as well, Elle, but we'll get the visual of the seats.
Oh,
because
yeah.
They are proper race seats.
Oh, yes.
Like, it's got the...
Even the detail on the seatbelt is beautiful.
Yeah.
So it's
that's an M3.
you know, M3 detail of the blue and the red right on there. Little stitch detail. Feeling very fortunate that we're in this car right now. All right.
Yes, and she's going slow around the roundabout again.
We'll be back. We parked because it was loud.
It was loud, and also I can't focus.
I needed Pat to concentrate.
Yeah, we need...
No one wanted to crash this car.
No. You should see how far away from the... I was like, we needed to find a wide street to park because I'm so far from the curb. Because I've drilled in my head of scratching rims and literally actually I was speaking today to Peter about like, oh, could I borrow your dad's car? He has an X4 because I've driven it before. And when we were in Adelaide over Easter, I did scratch his rims. Peter's like, you can't drive that car for a long time. I'm like, because he's like, you're banned. And I'm like, did Sock ban me as in your dad? He's like, no, I'm banning you. I was like, okay.
So it's like when car journalists get cars, they get charged big fat money if you scratch a rim. I didn't realise when I did the Porsche day, if I scratch a rim, that was $10,000. Yeah. There's a lot of big charges onto those things. Who was telling us from the Idemitsu dinner that we went to recently? Andrea, who is a
sweetheart.
Amazing car journalist. And she was saying, what was it? Was it a Lamborghini that she had? And it was like a $40,000 excess.
Something crazy. Yeah,
something crazy.
Or something,
I can't remember the number, but
nuts.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
And then the Deconstructors Championship comes out with the F1 and they're just like, oh yeah, an easy 3.9 million. No worries.
I don't want to say it. Actually, talking about the Deconstructors, I don't want to say it, but Pierre.
What? Wait, what did I miss?
He's still not in it.
Oh, that's right.
I don't want to say it.
I completely forgot about that.
Could
that was
we have
awesome
a driver? Could we have a driver that doesn't?
It's pretty amazing, actually.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't want to jinx it. So
I completely forgot about that.
Zip. Oh. Yeah.
There you go. Fun fact. I'm just going to put my seat back here.
Well, how was your week?
My weekend was great. I was at a wedding down in Sorrento, which is the Peninsula Coast, hour and a half outside Melbourne for anyone that's not Victorian based. And I drank.
Look stunning, by the way.
Thanks, darling.
You know that you're wearing butter yellow, and that's the colour of the season.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
No, okay. You had it here first. Butter yellow.
Cherry red is out. Yellow is in.
Oh, I wore cherry red for my engagement party.
Yeah, well, it's out now, so you're good. You're fine then.
Yeah, it was great. It was a great wedding. Very drunk, very hungover. Great weather. Got a tan. Lay by the pool.
Oh, it's
couldn't ask for more.
Sitting by the pool.
Yeah, and then I shot a Christmas party photography, not a shot. Photography. I did a photo shoot at a Christmas party yesterday.
My weekend was not as fun as yours. It's funny because you were sitting by the pool, but it was raining over the weekend, wasn't it?
Oh, it was beautiful weather in Sorrento. Yeah. I think it rained in the morning on Saturday morning, and that was about it.
Yeah, it was nice. I think on Saturday. I finished moving. It was such a fuck around and just like unpacking and. Obviously, living in Peter's parents' house, like our sanctuary is our room, and we just had shit everywhere. But as of late last night, I have like finished unpacking everything and making our room a nice,
satisfying,
livable space.
Satisfying
Indeed. So that's kind of all I did. Wait, what did we do Saturday night? Oh, Peter and I had a 21st. One of the girls from Peter's basketball, and I was like. I haven't heard a 21st speech for such a long time. All I hear is wedding speeches these days. And one of the mums was like, you blink and you've got a baby and then you're at these 18th and 21st. And I'm like, it really stuck with me because I feel like it was only yesterday that we were in 21st season in a way.
Do you still roast at 21st?
They did roast,
Yeah,
but they
nice.
they were nice. They were clean, nice roastings.
That's not a roast.
Yeah, true. Well,
It's just a
they were
speech.
really sweet though. And then actually we took Gabriel to his first girls' prix, so that was fun. Came to
lovely.
girls' prix. Peter was like, "Oh, it's almost 8. Like, is there any point in us going to Maddie's? Like, they're going to want to go to the party." I was like, "Peter, you've obviously never been to a girls' prix." And lo and behold, we were there. Then we took Gabriel home, and then we kept drinking and like playing drinking games. It was very fun.
Love that for you.
Yeah.
And then also on the weekend,
It was Qatar GP.
It wasn't as hot as last year.
No, thank God.
No issues there for the heat.
Mind you, I do feel like I'm in Qatar GP right now.
First, yeah, it's very hot in Melbourne right now. First of all, shout out Abby Pullen.
Yes, go Abby.
She won the F1 Academy Championship, which is just
massive. Not expected though.
not expected.
I mean, sorry, not unexpected.
Yeah, I was going to say she's like absolutely
not
killed it this
unexpected.
year.
Yeah,
she's had, I think she's had like 9 podium wins or something like that.
Yeah.
Or 9 podiums. Maybe that was the stat.
She's extremely ahead of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting what she does next year. So she won't be in F1 Academy next year, I don't believe, because they rotate out through it. So her opportunity now lies within like F4, F3, maybe F2.
Yeah, I think F3, F2.
Yeah, it just depends who picks her up now. So she's one to watch.
I wonder if Alpine will stick with her or what will happen there.
Well, they're kind of she's making a name for Alpine,
Yeah,
the females. So we'll just have to sort of see what happens there.
One of their prouder drivers. Unlike some
that
we were no longer drivers, so we will get into.
We'll get into that. And then we also have the sprint weekend.
Yes. Well done, Oscar. I'm pretty sure Oscar is like the sprint king.
I had that thought as well.
Yeah, he is the sprint king.
I was like, this is great.
We should call it the 100-meter man.
What's that mean?
Well, because like 100 meters is a sprint. So,
okay.
He's fast.
Yeah. Okay, no, that's fair. I get that. 100 meters. Yeah, I think he may. Has he won the most sprints this year?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. He has.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah.
But do you want to be known for winning sprints and not winning races?
He's won races.
Yeah, he's won one.
Yeah, but
like, in comparison, like I remember last year he won his first sprint. Was it a Qatar? I can't remember where it was now. But he said something along the lines of, but does anyone even care about winning the sprints? I mean, look, and it was, because I remember we discussed it being like, like that was an awkward comment to make.
I mean, you're getting 1 point, so it's not that exciting. But it shows the talent. Like, it shows the driver's talent. And I think maybe as well it speaks to the fact that, like, the car itself. Because I think a lot of us we'll get into the race, but I think a lot of us thought that the McLaren would perform a lot better this weekend than what it did. I think it does come down to weather as well. I think the weather where we saw the Red Bulls do a lot better translated to the weather on the race as opposed to the sprint. So I think it had something to do with the car performing in the weather. But I think it's a testament to his driving and a testament that his team didn't perform.
You know, we're parked right next to a cemetery.
Yeah.
Sorry. I just realised.
Yeah, that's why it's so quiet.
Whilst you were talking, I was like, oh.
You might just see Casper go,
this is like my nightmare.
Do you want to go somewhere else?
No, it's fine. I'll pull through. I'm still like the childhood habit of anytime I drive past the cemetery, I hold my breath. Because I was told that was bad luck. Were you ever told that?
I think people would say like, "Oh, parents will go inside you."
Was that what it was?
Yeah,
I just. Did you get told that though?
Oh yeah, for sure. That was like
not the only one. I still do it. I'm 30 and I still hold my breath when I drive past the cemetery. I kept doing it in Europe as well when we drove past it.
Oh, there's a lot of cemeteries over there, so you must have. I'm surprised you didn't pass out.
No, well, the ones in Melbourne are huge. They go for like, yeah, you're holding your breath for like a minute sometimes, especially if there's traffic, and you're like,
how about all the people that have run past us? People on their runs, they're just like fainting.
I couldn't do it. We nearly bought an apartment near a cemetery, and I was like, to Tom, no,
Yeah, I don't think I could live near a cemetery.
It's like I can't do it.
Near it is okay, but like live across the road.
No, I couldn't live across of it. But like even just near it was around the corner. I was like, nah, I can't do it because I'll be holding my breath all the time.
Elle's just like dead on her floor.
All right, let's get into the race. Race. And then there was 3.
Then there were 3.
Yeah. Constructors.
Oh, yes. And
Constructors,
then there were 3.
baby. The race.
Constructors, baby.
Oscar was a bit sad that he didn't get all the points that he satisfied. But he spoke very well about it.
He did. It just, again, like what I mentioned earlier, was not McLaren's weekend. I think Charles fought extremely hard to stay, and he kind of got lucky, but he fought very hard to get that second place. For those who didn't know, we saw Max Verstappen come first.
He officially got drivers as well.
Max,
yeah, officially.
Yeah. I think it was it was one of the first races in a while that wasn't a wet race that he won. So he was able to show his skill in this race. We had to see that for a while. Charles second, and then Oscar Piastri third. Yeah, a bummer because they did have the pace they could have. I mean, McLaren didn't do too well, but I think McLaren did better than Ferrari.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, overall as well, they did. And look, Lando did well as well. I thought he had a great performance. He was very down on the dumps again. About his performance. He was like coming out being like, I'm sorry. But the car just wasn't there. And it's like, you don't have to apologize. Yeah. We get it.
It's not you, it's them.
And it's
it's not
always a them problem. It's never you problem. Fantastic relationship advice from us.
Yes. It's never you. It's always their fault. Just like I say to Peter, it's never my fault. It's always your fault.
But you're always right and they're always wrong.
I'm always right. He's always wrong.
That's our unsolicited
happy wife, happy life.
Yeah, that's probably a true one. I say that to Tom all the time. He's like, we're not married. And I'm like, well,
we will be.
We good as are. But yeah, so there's still a chance. Like, we still have one more race before Abu Dhabi.
Yep.
Before we jump into who is actually going to be our Constructors' Championship.
So there's the potential that Ferrari wins their Constructors.
I don't know who I want between Ferrari and McLaren.
Well, you're a McLaren girl. So
I know, but I kind of like am pulled to Ferrari on this aspect. I think I want it to be McLaren.
It's a real bummer because
I think the McLaren fight has been harder than the Ferrari fight.
I think recently, and this is exactly what we saw last year, towards the end of the season, the McLaren fight was harder. The Ferrari fight was harder at the beginning of the year.
Ferrari seemed to be having more issues amongst their teammates, so
do you mind if
like
I turn
amongst the
car
team.
Don't mind me, guys. I was just having a hot flash. Turn the engine back off.
I needed the aircon going just for a little bit. All right, we're turning the engine off. We have to get back into the episode.
30-degree day in Melbourne. So.
I think it actually got up to 35 degrees.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, I think so. Sorry, I wasn't even like on the mic then. But what I was saying was that Ferrari have had some obvious issues between Charles and Carlos recently. McLaren, Lando and Oscar, they seem to be in a good place together. But yeah, there's been some little inklings going on. I think McLaren, though, up front puts themselves as a good team. They definitely has had some challenges on the track. Yeah. And a few incidents as well.
Both teams deserve it. And honestly, if I had to pick out of obviously I prefer Ferrari to win, but I would rather McLaren win out of McLaren and Red Bull because they really deserve it.
Yeah. Okay, well then what about this one? So Zhou Guanyu has finally scored points.
I know. See, I told you he can perform. Elle didn't believe me. I said he can perform. I really thought they were going to finish the season with no points. Well, and the points came from Zhou.
Yeah, and so he got the only 4 points that Kix Alvarez had this year. But also saying that, Mr. Sergio Perez, aka Checo, has also only had 4 points
in the last
5 races.
5 races, yeah.
So
what does that tell you?
Think hard on that one. Like, was Zhou really that performing?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No.
But also, go him.
Yeah, go Zhou. I'm very proud, and it's a bummer that he's out. But, you finally got there. All weekend, they were like, ooh.
Ooh!
The Sauber is performing.
Is that Joe?
Is that what?
Joe?
I just don't think they expected.
Is that our green highlighter?
Is that a green hornet?
Is the green going fast?
Yeah, it was performing a weekend, and there was speculation like, is Sauber going to get points this weekend? Yeah. And then I think he qualified 12th. They were like, a point's going to come from Joe over Bottas. I think Bottas is just checked out, to be honest.
Yeah.
Joe.
Supercar rumor is still going strong.
Yeah.
I still believe he's going into cycling, but
yes, actually, do you know the other day, yesterday, was it yesterday? I was driving and there was a cyclist behind me and it looked exactly like him. And I was like, wait.
No, he's in Qatar.
Wait. No, he's in Qatar.
He'll probably be spending more time in Australia because, especially over summer, there's a lot of competitions over the summer period that Tiff, his partner, competes in, particularly the Great Ocean Road Race, which happens down in Geelong. It's Cadell Evans one.
The one that Elle goes to try and stalk Beltry.
Yeah. No. I did this year, but honestly, I do go every year. And there's a lot of gravel races, so we'll probably be hanging around quite a bit.
Yeah. I think so.
I reckon Channel 9 or something will get him on for commentary for the Oz GP. Be like, just stick around. It'll be easier to get him than Daniel Ricciardo.
Yeah. I think if you actually, here's a little insight, if you want to meet him and find him, just go to Totti's in Lawn that weekend and you'll probably see him.
In what weekend?
The weekend of this bike race.
Oh, it doesn't go to Lawn.
Oh, doesn't it?
No.
Okay.
No.
But I still think they would go because they're down that way. Although at the same time,
maybe
I feel like
it's in Geelong.
Were you looking at that dog? No. Okay, sorry.
No. Pat got distracted by a dog.
Dog pooping on the road.
I
see you not picking up your dog's poo. I see you.
It's also illegal in Australia. $200 fine, by the way. It's just like swearing. Oh no, actually no. Pick up your dog's poo.
Yeah.
Pick it up. Don't get fined. Pick it up. It's gross. I've got dogs that eat other dog shit. Anyway, speaking of eating other dog shits, Max.
Okay. Elle was like, have you seen? And I've seen a lot of snippets of these comments. He's said some comments about how he has lost all his respect for George Russell and he doesn't respect him and that he, in conferences he says one thing but then behind closed doors he says another thing and he's basically done with George Russell.
Yeah.
Can you explain what this is all about? Because I'm confused.
So it's all over George wanting Max to have the one grid penalty place pretty much. Yeah. And that there's obviously a lot more going on in it. That's kind of how it started. They've obviously had a bit of a scuffle during quali. And then George won. Essentially, he went to the FIA and he won. But I think how the treatment happened behind closed doors is what has pissed Max off, and that Christian Horner has been referring to, and was also involved in it. And essentially, then Max came out, and apparently it was quite rude. So I was also listening to Ted talk about this, that Max said some words that Ted wouldn't repeat, or like the lines, but essentially it was along the lines of, I don't respect him. He is a different person that you all see of what is the media front to what he is like behind closed doors, and he and his FI friends can pretty much go off.
Drama.
And it made me think that when we saw George earlier this year in person at the OzGP, all I could think was that this man is exceptionally media trained.
Yeah, he is.
He has a presence. He speaks so well. He's just got this aura about him when he comes out on stage and he's speaking.
Yeah.
And so I could believe Max's comments that he's a different person behind closed doors. I mean, we don't know what that person is like. Obviously, he is fighting with the FIA, so I don't know why Max would say they're friends with the FIA, but obviously it's just because they agreed on giving Max a one-place penalty. And also it didn't do anything for Max anyway, because he still won the race.
Exactly.
So I think it was just...
at straws.
Yeah.
To be honest, I think this is just a typical Max hissy fit. Like when something doesn't go his way, he gets angry. We obviously saw a lot of that this year. A lot of that.
We saw a lot of that.
When he started losing.
Lewis Hamilton.
He was clutching at straws. Anything that he would fight rather than focusing on his race.
Lewis Hamilton kind of pulled this out as well. Did you see the commentary with his engineer Lewis is like, retire the car now, do it. And they're like, no. And he's like, well, when I come in, I'm going to just stop the engine.
Yeah.
And it was like very kid like. There was someone that said it reminded them of Valtteri in 2010, I believe, when he was like, I'm going to go home. I think that was that year.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, his engineer was like, well, if you do that, you're going to get a big fat fine.
Yeah.
I think he ended up getting a 5-second penalty time or something like that. Anyway, which he served that race. He could have been serving that in Abu Dhabi. I can't remember exactly what happened there. But, like, they're all causing hissy fits.
Yeah. No, but, like, I think to circle back with what you were saying about George, I do think he's very well media trained.
Oh,
but
he's exceptional in front of the camera.
But I also think that he's very refined.
Yeah.
And he's obviously grown up in quite a wealthy, old school British upbringing. Yeah. And so he's very well spoken, and I don't think, some people you hear that and you think, oh, you don't know what they're like behind closed doors. Like, I'm sure everyone's got their things, and the way you are with your best friends is very different to the way you are going to be when you're
with your colleagues
in your job, right? So
I think there's something though. I know they're on a platform and they're so well spoken and everything, and they've got to be really careful what they do because they're judged every second of the day. But I think there's something to be said for being your authentic self in front of the camera. Yeah, sorry if you just heard that tapping. Pat was clicking her nails in front of right of the mic, and I thought I would just grab her arm very weirdly and just put that down because I couldn't think all I could hear was tapping.
Tap it to ASMR. Yeah, and then I guess that's the difference between him and Lando. Is like Lando is very unapologetically.
Yeah,
himself.
And that's why also people love Daniel Ricciardo.
Yeah, but nah, I don't think George Russell's a bad person. I just think
I'm not saying he's a bad person. I'm just saying it's just interesting that these comments have come out. I mean, it's big for Max to say, I don't respect you anymore.
Yeah.
That's a huge comment for him.
No, he's a brat. He's just saying he's a being brat. Brat boy.
Brat energy. Now, in our notes, there's something that says Albon's mirror.
Lol. You've got to add the lol.
Lol, sorry.
Albon's
mirror. Lol. Talk to me.
You didn't hear about Albon's mirror?
I saw something briefly, but it was one that I just didn't concentrate on mainly.
So, Alex Albon's mirror came off. And the FIA is being heavily criticised about this because typically, if there is debris on the track, safety car comes out, they pick up the debris. 3 laps went by before they put out the safety car.
Is this the one where Yuki said he didn't even hear them talk about it and he heard them say beaver? There's a beaver on the track?
Something like that, yeah. And this is also part of the reason why I am disappointed. Carlos had an issue and obviously didn't get into the points. So, and it was because of this mirror on the track. So, yeah, the mirror, and I think Alex Albon, Williams in general. I feel like they don't have any car parts left.
So
they have nothing. They are basically pulling from a scrapyard what they can put on the car.
Have you heard what Alex has been doing for his bad luck?
Oh my god, yes. You did send this to me.
All right. Yes. If anyone needs this video, I'll send it around to you. I'll get the link and I'll put it in our show notes and whatever. But Alex has gone, he's very acknowledging his bad luck, and he's gone so far as to he's seeing monks, he's got prayer beads, but they're all bracelets.
Because Alex is Thai.
Yeah. He's also the bracelets temple. He can't wear because they're not fireproof, so he can't actually wear them on the track. But he wears them every other time. He went and saw a monk outside of Silverstone as well.
Yeah, he's like, I found a temple. They're like, you found a temple? He's like, yeah, I found a temple.
He was like, I essentially walked into someone's home. So he's going full blown for his good luck. And James Vowles has also acknowledged it. He's just like, good on you. I'm glad you're doing this.
We should put him into your car and be like, can you take my car to the temple?
No, guys. I'll say it already. My red flag of this week, my car has gone again. I had a suspension valve issue. So, that's fun. That's expensive. Anyway. Moving on. It's a gossip time.
Well, unless you've been living under a rock, I'm sure you've seen the gossip of your Au revoir, Monsieur Esteban Ocon.
I think this is rude. I think it's rude for SD Bestie. Give
What,
him
that they've
it's
kicked him out?
one race.
I
All right.
feel like they're kicking out people. Like
So the
Alpine's kicking
rumor
people out
is,
left
by
and-
the way, is that Esteban Ocon is out for Abu Dhabi and Jack Doohan is in.
I think it's confirmed. I don't think it's a rumor.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. Well, it's still goss.
Yeah, it's goss.
It's goss. But I think it's rude. I think just give him the last race. Just fucking the last race.
I actually think he agreed to it. I reckon he's agreed to this.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Because I was reading that they only did it because he didn't finish Qatar.
No, I think.
But
I
then
think
also give Jack
Alpine-
Doohan his first race in Australia.
Well, but the good thing about this, and what they were saying, is that Esteban can now test the Haas at Abu Dhabi.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And apparently Carlos is testing the Williams in Abu Dhabi as well.
yeah. I have seen that.
Yeah.
I just think Jack would have been better having his first race in Australia.
I know, but I don't think he'll be I think
I think we've lost that. Yeah, but I think we've lost that marketing pool now. I think that was a huge mistake.
Yeah.
I mean, it will still be a mistake. Like
But
people
it's
will
just-
still come out and see him.
Oh
but-
yeah, for sure. People are gonna
Yeah.
crowd around Jack, but no, I think it's good for him. I think as disappointing on a marketing level. You always think of a marketing level.
Well, I'm thinking
Um,
about what they're doing.
Yeah, but no, I think it'll be good for him. He can test the car out. There's
Mm.
really there's one race left. It's going to be no loss. It would be very impressive if we saw him get points for Alpine. And Esteban can drive the Haas at practice and then start his holidays early. Start his winter break, go make some gingerbread houses, go spend some time with his family and his lovely girlfriend, and just he gets to enjoy his holidays, sit by the beach in Abu Dhabi, and watch everyone else work their asses off in that heat.
I would love to be there.
So would I
It would be absolutely excellent.
next year.
It's the green flag and the red flag of the week.
Red flag.
We gotta come up with a better tune than that. Sorry.
Yeah, we need to. Next season,
Next season we're gonna have tunes.
We'll
Actually,
have
if anyone's got a
tunes.
connection for tunes, let
we
us
do
know.
have a connection.
Do you still have that number?
Yes, I'm gonna.
Okay, cool. Patty, green flag, red flag of the week.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you my red flag first.
Yeah.
I said to Elle before, I was like, I'm gonna wait and tell you this on the pod. My red flag was initially going to be moving and dealing with the factory, but I've already had that red flag.
Yeah.
So my red flag actually happened about 2 hours ago. I had. Are you holding the mic up to me?
Yeah, because you keep moving your head away from your mic.
No. Here's my mic. So my red flag is I had to drive Peter to the city, drop off the keys, or a key that Peter didn't drop off of our apartment to the real estate agent, then go back and pick him up, and then we were driving back to his parents. What's the tunnel that you go under the river?
Burnley.
Is it the Burnley?
Yeah, the Burnley Tunnel.
We're in the Burnley. So in that hour that I had between Peter, because Peter had to go into the city for work for a meeting, in that hour, the real estate agency was in St Kilda, so I was like, maybe I can walk around Albert Park. Side note, fun fact, as of today until the 28th of May, today's the official date that AusGP contractors are in Albert Park.
Ooh,
I actually read that.
They're starting their build.
Yeah, which is very exciting. Starting
Yep.
the build. So as of today. But I got a pizza from this place. I don't know why. I got a squid pizza.
Super random thing to get
Random.
on
Random.
a hot
On a
Monday
30
afternoon.
Plus degree day.
You should never buy seafood on a Monday,
Right?
people. That's
Stupid.
just rule of thumb.
Stupid.
Also,
I
who gets squid pizza?
I never get seafood pizza. I feel like, what? Ma che cazzo hai? Che cazzo? Ma che cazzo hai fatto, Patrizia? So, I know my nonna's striking me down from up there.
I love parmesan on seafood pasta. It's so good.
Yeah, I strike Elle down every time. I can't even look at her. So offended. Also
Yep.
by her chicken
Anyway.
pizzas. So anyway, so I got that, and I got an iced oat latte on the way back.
Wait, hang on.
I know.
You got an oat latte
I know,
with a
sorry.
squid pizza.
I know. Trust me. I don't know.
Okay.
I was
Yeah.
not
Okay. Keep
thinking.
going.
I was in a rush. We're driving in the tunnel, and it's like Peter's like, "What the fuck? There's all this traffic," and then I start going,
Uh-oh.
"Oh, oh." It's like, Peter, do we still have when I gave birth, my friend gave me vomit bags.
Yeah.
Because they were in my old car. We don't
Yeah.
have them anymore. Like we had like a supermarket bag. I was like, give me a bag, give me a bag. I was literally driving in the tunnel going, I only like threw up a little bit of like my coffee, and maybe I drank a lot of water, so but my stomach turned. So I'm sitting, I don't know, if you were in the Burnley on the 2nd of December at around 3, I don't even know what time that was, like 3:30.
Oh my God.
And you saw someone in a BYD vomiting, that was me.
Did you pull over?
I was in the tunnel. I couldn't pull over.
Put your hazards.
I couldn't. No. Oh my God, no. So I was like, and Peter was like,
my God.
oh, fuck. And Peter's biggest fear, speaking of irrational fears, Peter's biggest fear is vomiting. He's terrified right now because he thinks the gastro's rampant. So he like literally, he said the other day, he's like, I don't think we should eat out at the moment. I was like, why? He's like, gastro, it's everywhere. I was like, Peter, I allow you to be a psycho.
You got a kid. You got a kid.
But also, like, I also think we need to live our lives.
Yeah.
So,
and you've got a kid. Live your life.
Yeah.
Sorry, Peter.
But anyway, so that's my red flag.
Ooh,
vomiting in the tunnel. My green
I would
flag.
have loved if you pulled over and vomited. That would have been hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm glad you did it, but it would have been funny.
My green flag is my beautiful friend Gabriella is American, and she did a Thanksgiving dinner at her house on Thursday. So we all went there and had Thanksgiving dinner, and it was delicious, and I ate up a storm. But anyway, that's mine. What about yours? Your red flag?
My red flag, like I said already before, ML, suspension valve going. Nice little hefty bill there for me again. But my green flag, oof. I reckon my green flag this week was probably going down to Sorrento and being by the Sorrento hotel pool. And just drinking margs by myself.
I'm sorry.
I just had
I was there with you.
4 hours by myself. No, I wish you weren't because
Yeah.
it was fucking good by myself.
I actually would love to be there by myself, sit by the pool and just have cocktails.
I just sat there reading and they just kept bringing me. As soon as I finished my cocktail, they'd bring out another one. I had the best time. Oh, actually, no. Here is my actual red flag. This is a nightmare. Okay, so when I get home drunk, I need to eat something.
Yep.
It's just like, it just helps me get to sleep. Otherwise, I get nauseous and I will end up in the.
Oh, yeah, McDonald's is always a...
So I knew nothing would be open in Sorrento around 2 a.m. when I got home from this wedding. So I organised myself to have a lovely chicken roll in the mini fridge. And I ate half of it just before the wedding, and I was like, great. The other half, it's like the most amazing chicken salad roll. And I left it in the mini fridge. I'm going on about it to all my friends, being like, oh, when I get home, I get my chicken roll. Like I thought I was absolutely winning in life.
Who wants to eat a chicken sandwich when they're drunk? Give me the fries.
No,
and the pizza and the fries.
Nah, this is what I wanted. Anyway. And I just knew that I would be sitting there being like, yummy. I called Tom. I lost him. And I was like, hey, where are you? And he's like, oh, I'm back in the hotel. I was like, oh, cool. All right, I'll come back now. And I walk into the room. Tom's like sprawled out on the bed. Also had too many beers. And then he's like, hello. And I was like, hi. And I'm all bubbly. And I'm like, let's go get my chicken roll. I go to the mini fridge and the chicken roll's not there. Guess who ate my fucking roll?
My sandwich?
Yeah, it's a very Ross moment.
Sandwich?
That's what I kept saying.
Oh my God, Tom, I hate you.
I was so pissed off because he didn't even know this roll was in there. He just saw it by chance.
He just thought it was in the fridge.
He just looked at the fridge happen when he was like getting ready for bed, and he saw this roll sitting in there. And
I hate you.
And he was like, I'm winning in life.
No.
And he knew it was mine. And he said, because I remember I ate half of this roll already, so I left half of it. So he said he ate half of the half, and he was going to put that half of the half back in the fridge, and then he decided to eat it. But I was like, also, you're going to leave
he threw it in the bin, which is the worst thing to do.
Anyway.
Wow.
I was livid.
Yeah.
Livid at 2 a.m.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, I feel like you'd be pissed off about that as well.
Tom
said he's done that with his old roommate before, that his roommate left pizza in the fridge and in the pizza box. Tom pulled out the pizza box, ate all the pizza, and then put the empty pizza box back in the fridge.
Oh, I'm speechless. That is
savage, right?
Like, that is jail behavior.
Savage.
I
So I hide food from Tom all the time.
Yeah.
And then he finds my hidden food. I also now have to hide my electrolytes. And he found out where I was hiding them.
Your electrolytes.
And I have to hide my magnesium. I have to hide everything from that boy. He just steals it.
Wow.
And I have to sometimes hide my shampoo and conditioner.
Oh, God. Yeah.
I leave the empty bottles out. So he thinks that they're just empty. And
He never washes his hair. It's disgusting.
Oh, Tom washes his all the time, but he cycles. But also he shaved off his head. So anyway.
Wait, should I drive and so we can hear the car?
Ooh, let's hear the car one. Ooh, one last time. Thank you for joining us again.
Let me just bring my seat forward.
Car chats with Pat and Elle.
Yep.
Paddock 43, back in the car in the M3.
Not our M3.
Not our M3, but we're here. All right.
Yeah. But thanks for listening, guys. We'll be back next week. What car will we be in next week? Who knows?
Might be something special.
Might be something special. And oh, wait, sorry. Who was your driver of the week?
Oh, I think Oscar again. I think he had a great time. What about you? I know Joe got driver of the week for his 4 points.
Yeah, I was going to say
Yeah.
Joe.
Okay. Good on you. All right.
Can you tell I'm like. No,
she's like, I just want to love Joe.
I just feel bad for the people.
If you like this episode, don't forget to subscribe, like.
Also, one more thing that I forgot to mention.
Yeah.
Did you know that Charles Leclerc's water system stopped working in the race?
Oh.
So he had no drink in that heat. Which also could mean he could also be a driver.
That's also very impressive.
Yeah.
I'd rate that as a driver of the day. All right.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Hopefully I make it back
Yeah.
and this car is okay. And
No scratch rims. All right. Bye.
Bye.